Here.
Hello?
Have you checked the children?
They're all hot, though. Whatever you do, don't fall asleep. I'm afraid!
Don't be afraid!
No. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Here's Gingy.
Pain has a face. Allow me to show it to you. Gentlemen, I am pain.
I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face. The blackest eyes. The devil's eyes.
You think that when you die, you go to heaven. You come to us.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
I think it's trouble.
Julie, this guy, if he can't take a joke, he stinks.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk here.
Greetings, Flesh Wound Radio freaks, and welcome to a brand new edition of Flesh Wound Radio. Sorry. Todd, don't text me while I'm doing the intro. I've got to focus. Damn it. I'm an artiste. God damn it. Yeah. I'm responding to Todd. We're so fucking unprofessional. He literally waited like till 10 seconds before we were going on. So.
Well, I just noticed it, so.
But yes, so anyways, yes, thank you for joining us tonight. I am Daniel Shine, in case you weren't already aware, and I am joined, as always, by Todd. Clown House is my favorite movie ever, Loya, and that is a reference because I blame Todd. Hashtag blame Todd for everything. Global warming, hashtag blame Todd. Trump, hashtag blame Todd. Whatever bad shit's going on, it's Todd's fault. But I made a post, and this is a news bit. You have to laugh about it because there's two things in the horror community. I've seen this over the past decade plus that will inspire this particular one inspires a lot of like fighting. It's Victor Salva, which I made a post, and it goes into a news bit, but Victor Salva or Stephen Jeffries, a.k.a. Sam Ritter. Those are two topics that will blow anything the fuck up. And so the news bit was Nathan Winters, who, if that sounds familiar to you, was the victim of Victor Salva on the set of Clown House. Not Todd's favorite movie. I'm just kidding, so don't burn his house down. And he is doing a new documentary based on, I guess it's not specifically just Salva, but I guess if I'm reading it right, it was his, experience being abused, which he was, of course. That was tried.
Hello?
Salva.
You're on hold?
Huh? Hello, Todd? Hello?
I was trying to screen it. I was trying to screen a call. Sorry.
Oh, you hear me okay, right?
Yes, I hit the wrong button.
Blog Talk shut us down for mentioning Salva. Damn it.
I'm dissipating for a second. Go ahead.
Oh, no problem. So anyways, so he's doing a documentary. He's kind of, I know he's made statements throughout the years, but I think it was more through his mother. I mean, he was pretty quiet for the most part for a long time, but he is coming out with a new documentary, so I posted it. Just a news bit. I mean, I've always made my opinions about the Salva situation pretty clear. He's a piece of shit, no doubt about it, but I'm not going to boycott movies. I'm not going to rehash that whole thing. I think I've talked about that so many times, how many people that go into making a movie. And, and again, it may be a bullshit sentence, but he did his time. So anyways, posted the ad and or the link, and that always tends to inspire some entertaining responses. So usually we're just going to have fun with it. So yeah, not much of a news bit, but apparently it is coming out. And yeah, hashtag blame Todd. So yes, Todd's working on something, so I'm going to keep talking. So yeah, I mean, sorry, we are having some minor technical difficulties. I am working on it right now, so it's almost cleared up. I do apologize. Blog Talk is very, very strange. So anyways, yeah, so that's our position. We're going to review the new Jeepers Creepers movie. I know that's not popular with a lot of people, but, pretty much every single news bit or post, whatever Salva does, Salva can still be making movies 30 years from now, and everything is going to be prefaced by saying, the piece of shit child molester. So, you know what I mean? It's like, I get it, but, and Todd, I have no fucking idea what you're talking about.
Okay, it's a group you're posting in. We'll have to talk off air. I thought it was related to our topic at hand, and I'm sorry. Yes, I think I went on a little long because he didn't know I was also on air. I wasn't just screening. But
okay.
But I told him
okay.
Have him. Yeah. Yes. So yes, we don't have a screener, so I didn't mean to try to just jump out real quick.
That's okay. That is totally okay. Yeah, you posted that, and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
I know. We're all over the place today.
We are. Like I said, hashtag blame Todd. That's going to trend on Twitter at some point, Todd. We're gonna get bigger and bigger, and at some point, hashtag blame Todd. There's an earthquake in Chile, and it's going to be hashtag blame Todd. It'll trend everywhere. So I don't do Twitter. You guys got to get that going.
I'm glad. Well, it's funny. I'm going to just tell you because Dan was messaging me while we were doing it. And as soon as I said we have a caller, I just saw no.
Yes. That's what was distracting me. I'm like, please don't. It'll be 2 hours of Salva. We will take calls usually, but, review shows sometimes, that can make you go way into overtime. But yeah. Actually, I always say this. I haven't said it in a while. If anybody's ever interested in maybe coming on, which sometimes, again, I do apologize. We do have a lot of stuff we have to do in terms of screeners and whatnot, but
and then
you can communicate with us on our Facebook. Yeah, it can be. So sometimes it's hard, but we don't. Hey, we don't mind having a guest reviewer on every once in a while, or I'm
gonna start calling you.
So yeah.
I'm gonna start calling you Russo if you keep overbooking.
Hey, there you go. I haven't booked myself to win the world title yet, Todd. So don't invoke the name of Russo. I don't know. Is there a world title for horror podcasters? I haven't booked myself to win that yet, so I'm not Russo. Gonna find two. Gonna do the electrified cage match. You say Russo, you totally throw me off. It like flashback. I'm like Chop Top when you invoke the name of Russo. But yes, that's really all there is to it. I mean, it's like I said with that. It's like I'm just posting a news link. I'm gonna, we're gonna do what we're gonna do. If it pisses somebody off, hey, we don't really give a fuck. But everybody has a voice, so if you wanna weigh in, as long as you're not threatening each other, we're cool.
I think when we review this or that film, we might just make that our only review of the night and take calls.
Yes, that could be a really interesting show. That could really turn into an absolute clusterfuck. But that would be a really interesting show. So yeah, maybe we will do that.
I'll make sure to have tons of offensive sound bites too.
Oh yeah. Oh God, that's going to be the full heel turn show. I think just the fact that we're doing it will piss a lot of people off. So,
I'm looking at sound effects.
So I can only imagine.
There's some left over from last week.
Oh yes, I forgot
I don't think I can play any of them.
Grab by the pussy.
Oh, okay. Calm down.
There you go. You can always go back to the old classic. So yes, that's that news bit. Another news bit. I mean, there's a lot of shit that will get people really riled up this week, and that is the Dark Universe, which Todd and I, of course, have speculated, being that The Mummy was by all accounts considered a failure, pretty much. I mean, it's definitely thrown the Dark Universe into question at the very least. And Alex Kurtzman did comment on it, and he has said his future. The truth is, and I'm quoting him, "I don't know, I really don't know. I haven't really decided," is the honest answer. "I have to stay interested in it. I have to feel like my passion is there for it. I think in the case of Star Trek, if your passion isn't there, you shouldn't be doing it." Then he goes on to say, "It's hard for me to know the truth. I think every movie will be different. I certainly know that the legacy of the monsters has endured across the world throughout the years, almost a century, so I have to believe American audiences will find it, too, with the right ingredients." A serious question mark. My feelings on this, I would like to see that Bride of Frankenstein movie. But I think they need to just eliminate the Russell Crowe stuff and I forget what they were called, Protogyme or whatever the hell it was. The Monster Hunter angle, they just need to drop that. That was the weakest part of The Mummy for me, which I didn't hate. I mean, it wasn't great, but it was a decent enough summer blockbuster. I would like to see Bill Condon tackle Bride of Frankenstein without all the side stuff about these monster hunters, which is kind of a storyline on so many different TV shows and movies right now. I think I'm starting to agree. Well, I've always kind of agreed with you, but yeah. What's your take on this, Todd? Well, I know you're happy.
I am not happy. I am not surprised. It was done wrong from the beginning. I mean, I've been saying that since, you got to make the good fucking movie first before you're saying we're making a universe.
Yeah.
You want to possibly have a universe, you do what the other ones have done, and you throw your tag on at the end, post-credits with Russell Crowe, I don't know, doing whatever the hell he did in the movie.
Yeah, I keep forgetting you haven't seen it,
Again, as I said, from day one, I'm not going to spend, $20 to go see a movie in hopes, 5 movies down the line we'll finally have a good one. So I'm paying for you to set up the fact you're building a universe, so possibly one day there will be a good movie out of all this. Nah, I'm not paying for that.
Yeah, again, I didn't hate the movie. I did not. Tom Cruise was boring, and I didn't like the not boring, just an uninspired choice. But they did a little bit too much of the Russell Crowe stuff. I agree with you. It probably would have been better either end credits or just have them pop up somewhere once or something and not have a big to-do in the story.
Isn't that what they did with Samuel Jackson, one of those, like the Iron Mans or one of those things? That's when they started weaving stuff together.
God, I don't recall. I mean, yeah, I don't think you can force a universe because I'm not as big of a fanboy, so I might be, in terms of comic book movies, so I might be out of order on these. But you had Iron Man, successful franchise, Captain America, Thor, I believe, and I don't know if I'm missing another one. But you had multiple successful movies, whether you liked them or not, before they hit the Avengers stuff. And you're right, people kind of blow their wad a little bit too early. DC's doing the same thing. They're forcing something that, hey, I didn't see it. I heard Wonder Woman was decent from what I understand. But it's like, okay, but wait, get another couple ones because you're introducing all these fucking characters who haven't had their own movies yet. And I think there's a strong chance that Justice League thing is going to be a clusterfuck. I don't care really either way so much on that, to be honest. But I'd like to see them just make these movies on a lower budget and just take a shot at a legitimate. I mean, I know the action quotient's going to get bumped up somewhat, and there's certain things that they probably almost have to do, but try and just make a legit horror movie. I mean, there are great storylines there to explore with these characters, and hey, give it a shot. Do a new Dracula. Do something that isn't totally contingent on Matrix style kung fu and what have you. And don't take the tragedy out of the fucking monsters. I always say that again and again. That's like the worst thing that they tend to do nowadays. So that's the other news bit. Not really a definitive answer, but I've got to think it's not happening because the money just wasn't there on the Mummy. So I cannot see them continuing with that. But we'll see. Our other, not news bit, really most of these were discussion bits today. The Death Wish trailer for Eli Roth's new take on Death Wish just hit earlier today or maybe late last night, I can't recall. And this is Eli Roth's new Death Wish with Bruce Willis in the lead. And Todd, I did not care for the trailer. And I don't know if that's necessary. That doesn't necessarily mean I won't like the movie. It may not even be showing what the actual movie is really going to look and feel like. But I didn't like the trailer. What did you think?
Here's the thing. I know you brought it up off air that Bruce Willis, you would have liked to see someone else in the role. And I completely get that. To me, it looked like it's going to be Unbreakable meets Hostel. I'm assuming we'll still get some Eli Roth kills kind of snuck in there, as we see with the one in the auto shop. And I think for me, the trailer wasn't the best, but that's how Hollywood does everything now. But I have enough faith in Eli Roth as a director. I can't think of anything he's directed I have not liked. Even up to Knock Knock. I mean, I
like Knock Knock a lot better than Green Inferno. But although Green Inferno is still fun, but
Yeah, I know. Everyone wanted Cannibal Holocaust, but come on, it was coming from Universal. We all kind of knew that we weren't getting full-on Cannibal Holocaust.
Yeah.
But
we reviewed that a while back. That's a good review.
We did. So honestly, it's been a couple years. I'm glad we're getting something new in. I'm optimistic, and enough to say, I'm going to definitely go see this one.
Yeah, I'm going to see it as well. My big issue is, number one, AC/DC Back in Black. I mean, that felt more like a trailer for a new Die Hard movie than Death Wish, because Death Wish is a very gritty, down and dirty film. I mean, there's not a whole lot of yucks in that one. It should really be grim, and because Stallone was initially cast, and it's funny because Bruce Willis is certainly, he's had better acting roles than Stallone has over the years, but right now, for some reason, I think I would have liked Stallone better in that role. I don't know why.
Well,
maybe it's
Bruce
like Willis
this.
maybe not giving a fuck anymore, but I don't know.
Okay, Bruce Willis has always just played Bruce Willis. There's like two Bruce Willises.
Yeah.
There is Moonlighting Bruce Willis, which he played from Moonlighting, Blind Date, Die Hard, all the way up to, when did he flip? I can't remember the exact flip, but then we have, say, Unbreakable Bruce Willis till now. It wasn't exactly when he shaved his head, but pretty much. It's like you're either one, or he's either one or the other. The humorous Moonlighting one, or the, the Unbreakable. There's no in between. And they're pretty much the same, but I like older Bruce Willis a little bit better.
Oh, yeah.
And I agree with Stallone, because Stallone's proven numerous times he can act. I know he doesn't get the praise for first. Yeah, and watch First Blood again. People kind of were stuck on the Rambo 2 and 3, which, starting with First Blood, he was great. And, people cite Copland. He's always been able to act. And I agree, he would have been a better choice. And there's actually a few other names that were, because I know Stallone backed out after creative differences. I'm trying to see. I just saw the list of names. Who were the other ones, and I can't find them now.
I strongly, that could be a bad sign, because I had heard that, and my fear is that may have been because they were just kind of really going too mainstream with it. I expect an R-rated film. I expect, like you said, we'll get some gnarly kills and such. It'll probably be an entertaining movie, but it's funny, we were talking about it off air, Death Sentence with Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
I want that kind of, which is a great film. Nobody fucking saw it. I would like more of that type of tone. Yeah.
And I'm looking. The actors considered for Paul there's Liam Neeson, Russell Crowe, Matt Damon. God, I would have hated Matt Damon. Not that I hate that in this role. Benicio del Toro. I could actually see him.
Del Toro might have done it well.
And it would have made it a little less racist than the super white bald guy running down the streets shooting people. Will Smith, don't like that at all. Brad Pitt, those are the names that were rumored. Also, interesting bit of trivia. This is Adventures in Babysitting reuniting too, because we have Elizabeth Shue and Vincent D'Onofrio in it together.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I like Elizabeth Shue a lot, actually. She's somebody I don't see on the big screen much anymore, although she's still active. But I was excited to see her in this. It'll be interesting to see this one. And again, that trailer might be a little bit jazzed up just for marketing purposes, but out of the ones you mentioned, Del Toro would have been good. Not my top choice, but I could have seen him doing a pretty good job with it. I really don't hate Brad Pitt. I'd be okay with that, but not my top choice. Matt Damon would have been horrible. Matt Damon, it needs to be a gruff, kind of older guy. Not that Matt Damon's young anymore, but it really, to me, has to be a more gruff, older dude, and I just don't think Matt Damon would have pulled that off. But I might have gotten more butts in seats, so who knows?
It's one of those things. It's like, I don't know who. Trying to replace Charles Bronson. Yeah, that's not an easy one offhand. And
Stephen Lang. There's a good one. Older dude, could have done a good job.
But we'll see. And I think it had to be a little bit more jazzed up, because if they are keeping the main reason for this movie to happen, you kind of don't want to really play that up in trailers if you're trying to get the kids up in the theater.
Yeah. I assume that one reason is still a plot point, but I'm not 100% sure.
Well,
maybe
they kind of
off screen.
Yeah. Well, I didn't expect some Death Wish 2 action, but
yeah. No maid cornholing in the Hollywood reboot.
Come on, part 2.
Yeah, we were both saying, maybe just hope this one makes money, and then Eli Roth can do a proper version of Death Wish 2. But we'll see. We'll see.
That's all I want. That out of all this, I want the Eli Roth version of Death Wish 2.
Yeah, I agree.
I'll take all 5.
I agree. Lawrence Fishburne's got to come back for that one. So, Todd, did I miss anything? I know there were other bits, and I know we got to start getting into our reviews, but there's a lot of big stuff. Did we miss anything? Oh, they canceled the Elvira Blu-ray, the Elvira Mistress of the Dark Blu-ray. I do remember that.
They did.
Yeah, your bullying of me, Todd, failed. I think I know why Todd's quiet. I think he's looking for a soundbite. But
no, I'm actually reading some comments.
Oh, from our earlier news bit.
Yes.
I'm trying not to look, and I'm just gonna go.
I know. I got tagged. That's why I did.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Yeah, and yes, he is actually. That's why Todd gets quiet. He's tickling the balls and soaking in your comments. Yeah. So, without further ado, our first review for the evening. This is kind of next week, by the way, is all horror, and I do want to point that out because I know this is a very horror light show, but that's this is just one of those weeks where it's a little more exploitation. Not a full-on Flesh Wound After Dark because our first film is not, but yes. Next week, I know we are doing Friend Request, an early review of that. That's going to be in theaters next month, I believe, and Killing Grounds, an early review for that one, and we have Sharknado 5, Five-Headed Shark Attack, and Trailer Park Shark. So we've got some shark action and some horror action for you guys next week. So our first film of the evening is the Crown classic comedy My Chauffeur from director David Beard. And this one, Casey Meadows, played by Deborah Foreman, a dishwasher at an Italian restaurant, has just received an unbelievable job offer. The opportunity to work as a driver at the prestigious Brentwood Limousine Limited. Much to the shock and frustration of its posh, all-male chauffeur staff, Casey accepts the offer, but if she begins to settle into her new position, she discovers that working as a driver is more grueling than she could have anticipated. Finding herself having to contend with stoned singers, devious diplomats, and other raucous clients, she is quickly at her wit's end. But when she picks up a young man named Battle, played by Sam Jones of Flash Gordon, who's just been dumped by his girlfriend, a budding romance quickly begins, only for Casey to discover that Battle is her boss's son. And it goes on. So this one I haven't watched in a long time. It's got a hell of a cast. I mean, you've got Deborah Foreman, who was awesome in the 80s, of course, you know, Waxwork, Valley Girl, April Fool's Day, you know, she had some great roles. Sadly, kind of just one of those actresses of the time that just kind of disappeared after a while. But you have her, you have Penn and Teller, you have Howard Hesseman of WKRP in Cincinnati, and of course Sam Jones, Flash Gordon himself. I had forgotten
E.G. Marshall?
just how E.G. Marshall. A lot of great character actors in this one. There's a lot of name dropping you could do, but this one's kind of a unique film in a lot of ways because, I mean, in many ways, I mean, you could almost say it's a romantic comedy. We're a little lighter than normal before we get into all of our sleaze later in the show. But at the same time, I don't want to say that to turn people off that don't give a shit about romantic comedies, because this is also there's a lot of fucking gut-busting scenes in this film. I mean, it's a very wild, crazy. I mean, this is like pure 80s. I mean, this is just like a piece of 80s pie. I mean, the sequence, probably genuinely one of the funniest, most random, out there sequences I've seen in a comedy, where the rock star has to go steal the old lady's panties as a part of the game, and just, I can't even describe it. It's one of those, you have to see it if you haven't seen this movie. And she starts swinging her little dog at him as a weapon. I don't know. I've got a lot to say about this one. It's very unique in its own way, and they point this out in the commentary, but it's a little more classy than a lot of Crown films. But yet at the same time, I don't want people to just think that this is some romantic comedy, because it's pretty fucking hilarious. What do you think, Todd? We've never talked about this one.
We have not. I am a huge fan of this one. I had the VHS, both DVDs, and finally now the Blu-ray. It's probably been in multiple other like multi-packs I have too. But yeah, I've always been a fan of this one going back to the VHS days. I will admit, I don't know if that was I'm pretty sure that's what drew me in originally. I was always
You're
a big
old.
Penn
Did you
Teller
see it in
fan.
theaters?
I did not. I was 10 when it came out. But I was always a big Penn and Teller fan, so I had knew they were in it. And I'm pretty sure I didn't see it in '86. I probably saw it. Well, it came out at the beginning of '86, but probably saw it '87, '88 at the latest. I do have to call out though. I totally forgot Howard Hesseman was a limo driver, and Dr. Detroit is one of my favorite films. So I'm like, damn, he's always got something to do with the fucking the '80s. He was the limo guy. We need a limo guy. Give me Howard Hesseman.
Yeah. I love Howard Hesseman.
I do too. And I remember when they replaced him on Head of the Class with the English dude. Wasn't happy.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember. I mean, again, I'm in my early 30s, so I didn't watch it obviously when it aired, but I do remember watching repeats of WKRP when I was a kid.
Oh, yes.
I just always thought the guy was really, really talented. And yeah, I mean, this movie it's kind of the ultimate. If you're a fan of the 80s and just 80s movies, 80s culture, you really kind of have to see this one. It's very unique. And it works on multiple fronts. It works as a romantic comedy. I mean, for the most part. I mean, it's one you could probably watch with your girlfriend. Yet it's really fucking hilarious. It's got the gratuitous 80s music numbers. But I mean, there are multiple scenes in here that really just had me busting up laughing. Like I said, the old lady scene, and it's also kind of un-PC in its own way. In fact, there was apparently she didn't say exactly what it was, but apparently there was some sort of a rape scene. Not a rape scene, but I guess Deborah Foreman said something that was cut that was in it at one point. But it is kind of un-PC in its own way. I mean, you have an old woman getting her panties stolen. It's got its... it's not all. This is not Julia Roberts romantic comedy territory.
I've never seen a naked dude steal a baby in a Julia Roberts romantic comedy. And there's a difference between a 90s romantic comedy and an 80s romantic comedy, because if you think about it, most of the comedies from that era have some part romantic comedy. I mean, yeah, it's just
guy
not
still gets the girl.
Overly. Yeah, it's more that. I mean, and that's one thing I was like, it wasn't until later I realized it wasn't until they specifically decided to make them for chicks that it became a separate genre. Because, well, this one, yes. It's more the guy gets the girl thing, I think, than the romantic comedy, but I get it. It's there, so yeah, but see, and I don't want to give up the one thing, but there's the whole, how do I say this for, Well,
the synopsis gave away a twist, so.
Which one? I didn't even catch. I was wrong. Well, let's just say it has to do with the. Well,
it didn't give away the full twist. It gave away half of it.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say the Dunham thing.
Oh, yes.
They never teased that scenario in that, but.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. It doesn't quite. Actually, that would have been pretty funny if they just left it there at that twist. But but there was more. There was more to it. Move to West Virginia. But and you. Oh yeah, you mentioned that. I know. Flash Gordon's like buck-ass naked, like stealing some fucking baby. You know they would not write that now. Maybe if Victor Salva were directing it, maybe. I know, and I know Dan got a little hard when she whispered in the ear, "You're my daddy now too." Yeah. Absolutely, of course I did. You know me, Todd. I also liked that Penn and Teller, I love their roles, especially Teller as an Arabian sheik. I mean,
Abdul, come on, get his name right.
Abdul, absolutely.
And if there's anything that Teller looks like, is an Abdul.
Of course he is. Of course, yeah. I mean, yeah, he definitely. That's who I think of casting when I'm casting a Middle Eastern prince. It's Penn or Teller. So yeah, no, it's definitely. I mean, Deborah Foreman was fucking adorable. I mean, she's definitely somebody. She still looks good too, by the way. I've seen her at like 4 conventions, I think 4 or 5. Very nice lady. and very talented too. Like I said, she's one of those ones where it's like, oh man, I wish she had just kept making movies. But
yeah, I know.
Unfortunately.
I could follow her downfall. She was in that damn movie with John Travolta, and then she was doing Lobster Man from Mars right after.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes the downfall is not always that obvious. I mean, like, cause we referenced Stephen Jeffries before, and, because, I mean, you look at his, career path, and it seems like awfully dramatic going, porn. I still remember discovering IMDb and thinking, oh, okay, well, yeah, Fraternity Vacation was good, and he just kept doing sex comedies. You're seeing Virtual Blood or Beach, whatever. And then once you start getting into Latin Crotch Rockets and Seaman Training Day, it became pretty obvious what Evil Ed was doing.
And what made it even worse for Dan was he ordered all these things, too.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know what the hairy dudes on the website had to do with anything. It just, I was kind of shocked, actually. But yeah. Yes, that's, no, I did not order them. Although I will say, somebody once, because there was that crazy-ass thing online that it's like, no, it wasn't him. And I remember, like, being on a message board once, and it's like somebody's like, oh, he had a twin, and I'm like, oh, well, that's obviously he didn't. And then they're arguing with each other. Then all of a sudden, and guys, one of those things I wish I just didn't look, but somebody posts an image, and that very much looked like Evil Ed with the dick in his mouth. So yeah, it was him. Sam Ritter and Stephen Jeffries are one and the same. But this has nothing to do with my chauffeur, Todd. See, I blame you. Hashtag blame Todd.
Yeah, you're the one who wanted to talk about that. Maybe we'll do.
Maybe we'll do a commentary track for Latin Crotch Rockets at some point. That might be interesting. He does have some funny titles on his IMDb. But actually, I should look it up. I'll look it up during the break because there were a couple really funny ones. I still remember, and I was young at that time, but I was looking and I was like, holy fucking shit. And then, you discover the Family Matters girl did porn. Some of the others that did porn. I tracked down some of her porn. I can't remember what her name was, but anyways. That's for later in the show, Todd. We're reviewing, a light R romantic comedy. So we'll save the book for later. But
okay,
yeah,
Jan.
so this one, we've covered a lot of stuff. We've covered pedophiles. We've covered gay porn. What the hell haven't we talked about already? So my chauffeur. It's a wild and crazy 80s comedy that still is going to be one you can watch with your girlfriend and have a good time with. Great cast, some genuinely hilarious moments, and comedy's tough. Comedy's very tough. I think this one has aged quite well. I think most people, if you just like a good comedy that'll make you laugh, I think this one's going to work for you. So I give this one a.
No, go ahead and Braden. I'll just mention.
I give this one a 4 out of 5. The only thing some people, it doesn't quite get into sex comedy territory. I mean, it kind of has a couple moments, but this is definitely not a sex comedy. So if you're a fan of Crown and thinking maybe this is going to be what that is, it's not really. But it is funny. It's funny as hell. So 4 out of 5 on the movie. What say you, Todd? And we do have some extra features we can talk about as well.
Well, this is I know. I was a strange child. One I used to watch quite a bit as a youngster. and always, like I said, always been a fan of. It is one that has slipped between the cracks, though, because I mentioned quite a few places people talking about the film and mentioning how they like 80s stuff, and this one always passed them by. It's really, and a lot of people watching it for the first time that are big 80s fans. And I think I honestly may have too. It was I like Penn and Teller, and I knew they were in it, and I think that is what, kind of why I didn't lose it in the cracks too. So I'm glad it's gaining an audience now. I think
Did you ever see them live?
I've seen them a couple times. I think I own one of the most 90 pieces of memorabilia ever at Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios. I got them to sign. All the thing I had to sign was my hat. So on my Night of My Nature OPP hat is Penn and Teller autographed in blood. So yeah, that's pretty 90s. And I saw them. I saw them pretty recently, within the past couple of years on their Vegas show, and I know I've seen them one time in between too. I want to say Knott's Berry Farm.
Okay.
But I've seen them at least 3 times.
Yeah, they're Vegas staples. I've never gotten to see them live, but yeah, they're definitely Las Vegas staples. Did you try and get Teller to talk? Did you kick him in the nuts or something? Tried to get it on tape.
But see, if you're a real Penn and Teller fan, he's talked before. See,
that is true. That is true. He has. Although he apparently did not talk on this movie. Although I have a hard time believing that. I got to think at some point the director, he had to let that shtick go. But Deborah Foreman, I believe, claimed he did not talk. He's
almost mimish in the way he's committed to that. He lives that gimmick. Other than Penn and Teller get killed, I think that's the only special or anything, and yeah.
So what do you rate this one?
Oh, sorry. Yes, I'm with you. Even through all that, and I do love the film, I'm with you on it being a 4. I'm not letting my personal opinion sway me.
It's well worth seeing. Like I said, if it has slipped between the cracks and you're an 80s aficionado, check it out. It should be higher up there than it is. So we do have some extras, starting with a Deborah Foreman interview, License to Drive. And it's a nice little featurette. Like I said, she's still very attractive lady, kind of probably in her, I guess, mid to late 50s now. She talks a little bit about Valley Girl and her kind of early career boom. She kind of talks a little bit about how she prepped for the role, and talks a little bit about Nick Cage. It's mostly about this movie, but she does talk a little bit about some other stuff that she references. She talks about Penn and Teller. She did say that Teller apparently didn't talk on the set, and she went to one of their shows later and was an audience volunteer. She did talk about a sort of borderline attempted rape scene that got cut from the movie. It was the 80s after all. It wasn't PC. Maybe if it was early 80s, late 70s, they would have kept it in. There was some controversy about this movie. Apparently Crown sort of trumped up their numbers a little bit, and they had some issues with Color Purple and Spielberg complaining, and it kind of got her pulled from a lot of stuff like Carson and stuff where she was going to promote the movie. So this one definitely had some controversy behind it, and yeah, it was her favorite film. Apparently she had a great time, loved working with Sam Jones, and yeah, it's her favorite film apparently, which is interesting because it's not her most probably not her. Well, it was probably fairly successful at the time, but it wasn't Valley Girl or
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say it didn't have the legs as the other ones, I think.
Yeah, no, it definitely didn't, and it didn't, create a massive star like Nicolas Cage. But so yeah, it was a great featurette. You also get. Mm-hmm.
I was just gonna say that's why our co-host hates our former co-host on the old show hates Valley Girl.
Yeah. Oh God, don't get me into a Nick Cage rant. It's okay if you don't like him, but the guy has made some good movies. So, fuck you, Nick Cage haters. Not you. Tom.
I like Drive Angry.
Drive Angry is very good. I know some people don't like the guy, but he has made some good movies.
Just because he turned fucking the Wicker Man remake into about screaming for bees doesn't mean you have to hate him.
Okay. I don't want to go on another side rant, but let me ask you this. Wicker Man remake, piece of shit. I mean, I love Wicker Man. I think one of the great horror films, the original. But let's be honest. You put anybody else in the Wicker Man remake, even a good actor, that was still going to be a steaming pile of shit, and you wouldn't have even had the unintentional comedy. Because if nothing else, Nick Cage punching an old lady out, and you bitches, killing me won't bring back your goddamn honey. I think that was the line. That movie would have nothing going for it. When I rated that, I did give it 1 star strictly for some unintentional comedy. So that's a side rant.
I would say
Nick Cage was not to blame for Wicker Man.
I would rather watch Wicker Man than The Fog or the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. So
Nightmare on Elm Street's remake was more pointless than just being a horrible movie. It just kind of didn't. I don't know. It was just. There wasn't much of a point to that one. It didn't do anything to improve upon Nightmare on Elm Street. But, yeah, no, definitely over The Fog for sure. And over Nightmare. It's still more fun than that. So, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, exactly.
So, anyways, we also have a commentary track, very informative with the director and actor whose name I can't remember, but the rock star. And very informative as well. They talk a little bit, the director talks about his agent not wanting him to work with Crown since they did have a bit of a reputation for being a softcore type company, which isn't really fair. Well, not really softcore, I guess. I wouldn't consider them a softcore company, but I get what they were getting at then. They talk about it being a classier film for Crown. He talks a little bit about Sam Jones, who apparently didn't have a great time on Flash Gordon. And there was several controversial elements. Rolls-Royce sued Crown over their advertising ads. It's a very good commentary track, and the actor also talks about the old lady being a little bit upset over the panty scene. So it's a good listen. Vinegar Syndrome does an amazing job as always. I wonder if they had trouble getting Sam Jones, or if it just wasn't in the budget, because I met him actually as well, and he's actually a really fun dude. But as far as extras, 4.5. It's a great release as always from them. I couldn't have expected much more. And Penn and Teller are probably a little bit busy, but that would have been interesting. But I don't think they could.
I agree with you. I'm a 5 on the extras. I don't know if it's partially because it's the first time we've ever got anything on this other than a bare bones disc, but I was overall thrilled being a fan of the film already. I was happy. I mean, and the fact it got Deborah Foreman, who never seems to come out for anything interview related. So.
Yeah, weird though too, because I have seen her at conventions. So I wouldn't have necessarily expected her to be so difficult, but yeah, it is great that they had her on here. So yeah.
But this is her favorite movie, so.
That is true. I can see why she's proud of it. She's actually really, really good in this movie. It's a very well-made movie. Definitely, certainly near the top of Crown's list for sure. So what do you say we take our break and then tackle the double? I know we're a little bit early, but we'll probably be way late if we try and knock out the double.
We're barely early, so.
Okay. So we have a song tonight.
Intro our song.
I do. This is actually one of my favorite modern day. I mean, I guess it came out like, I don't know, 6-7 years ago, whatever it's been, but mostly modern day adult parody, and that is This Ain't Glee XXX. This one has, actually there's multiple songs that are hilarious but legitimately good, like people that can actually sing, and I highly recommend it. It's hilarious, and this song, I believe, is Knocked Up at 18.
And here we go.
The nurse called it a nervous breakdown. I don't know what came over me. I couldn't stop crying. Truth is, everything felt better once Finn walked in. I'm just a silly whore, nothing like the girl next door. If only I could change in any way.
I'm just a silly job. I know you think I'm dumb as a rock. Repeating year after year, soon I'll graduate. And down the pressure's growing, shouting, holding on for our life. Don't stop, here I come. Nothing but extreme emotions, grinding, pounding you tonight. Time I get the chill, hope to God she's on the pill this one last time. Before we carry out this plan, promise me you'll be a man. Take your time like you did last night and go in and out and in and out. Deeper and deeper, up and down the pressure's growing, shouting, holding on for our lives. Don't stop, here I come. Nothing but extreme emotions, grinding, pounding you tonight. Too young to be a dad, knocked up at 18, oh no. Knocked up
following program is intended for mature audiences.
And we are back, correct, Todd?
Yep, I probably should have played that before the song, but whatever.
Whatever. We're always Flesh Wound After Dark in heart. But yes, that was. If you haven't seen that one, I highly recommend it. I mean, it actually works as a musical. And there's a couple other songs. I can't remember the name of one. It was The Teacher, and you really should actually look at the mostly safe for work YouTube clips of it, because actually even that one, seeing the video kind of tells the story in more detail. You probably get the gist of it. But Big Cushy Hose is also a funny song from that one. It works as a musical. It's not just porn. It's actually a good modern porn parody. So I do recommend it. Todd, have you seen that one?
I have not, but it seems like I need to now.
Yeah, you do need to see that one. That is a good one. I do, and I have it on Blu-ray too. It's a cheap Blu-ray. If you know how to look for pornography on eBay, cheap plug. Flesh Wound Dan, the best seller on eBay. Really handsome dude, giant cock. You should check him out and support him on eBay. Flesh Wound Dan. That's not me, by the way. That's somebody else.
No.
Yeah, but the dick thing's true. But anyways, check that out. If you know how to search for porn, it's a cheap Blu-ray. I don't have an extra copy of it. Otherwise, I'd put it up now because I'm sure I'd sell one. but grab it. It's fairly cheap. I mean, you can get it for under $10, I'm sure, at this point. So yes. So we do have more Vinegar Syndrome action, I should say. When we'll kick it off with their Peakorama double feature, which is actually two films. We'll take them one at a time, of course. But from a director, I'm actually a pretty big fan of Sean Costello. And the first film is called Afternoon Delights, which I would read the synopsis if I had the disc. I do have it. Here it is. So Afternoon Delights is a 1980 film from director Sean Costello and follows a group of friends who have gathered for their regular poker night, but instead of dealing stud, they are presented with a new game from their host, Eric Edwards, a game where they try to decide who has the nastiest story about an ex-wife. One of Costello's most memorable vignette films, Afternoon Delights, stars Vanessa Del Rio, Veronica Hart, Serena, Samantha Fox, Eric Edwards, and many more. So, Todd, what did you think of this one? I like this director's work. I'm kind of curious what you think of this title.
I thought it was a solid adult film, a good setup. But that being said, I you know how I am. I tend to go for a little bit more of the humor. I mean, I still had fun with this one. It was just more of just a solid, good porno, I guess is my best way to put it.
But, Todd, it had something for both of us. It actually has a lesbo fondling session, sort of a rapey lesbo fondling session. So, you know, it had something for you. It had something for me. That's why Vinegar Syndrome put it out, God damn it. And now you're saying average.
No, I didn't say that. I said it was a good adult film. I said for what you know our gold standard at this point, what it is. If you don't, well, I'm sure we'll say it in about 2 minutes. But yeah, I mean, I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was more. I mean, because like now watching some of the vintage stuff, I've said numerous times, I prefer a little more humor. But overall, it was a good porno. I mean, that's my best compliment on it.
Yeah, though, I actually did find this one kind of humorous. Not that it's presented really as a comedy per se, but there's just something. I like the un-PC sort of nature of it, which it had in spades. The dentist sequence with Bobby Astor was particularly funny. He was always really good too. He's another golden era porn star that never really got the credit he deserved, but he was really good in that scene. I liked the wink at the end, which kind of I don't know, maybe that's why you didn't like it, because that kind of negated the element that you enjoy. Once it became consensual, and then Todd lost interest. Damn it. But yeah, and that's kind of a theme. I mean, it is a porno, because that sounds like a backhanded compliment, but it works as a porno.
Yes, and that's I was trying not to make that sound like a negative compliment, because I think as an adult film, what its intentions are, it works perfectly. Got to get set up to, I mean, it's not just it's not just humping for no reason. I guess it's one way to put it. It all makes sense, and that wink could have went.
It's got a little bit of everything too. I mean, you have some, which is actually I think a theme with Sean Costello. There's some DP. There's some S&M action, much more in the second feature. I thought the Nazi chick, I thought that was kind of funny. So I mean, if you're into that, that's probably going to be a good theme for you in these movies. I like his work. He's actually a very good director, and his films, I'm a fan. I hope they have, there's several other films he did that I kind of have a vague memory of, but I hope Vinegar Syndrome will also be putting out. I have a feeling they probably will be. And it's a simple setup, and I like that. It makes sense. Some of the random stuff that I think was funny, but the construction worker sequence, I don't know what girl flicks her bean in the shower with that much soap. That's like asking for an infection. That's just a random thought. If you haven't seen the movie, you won't even know what I'm talking about. But, I don't know. I know women masturbate in the shower, but, that was a lot of soap in her cooch, just asking for an infection. But I don't know. Random stuff I think about.
She wanted to make sure it was really clean. She wanted to make sure it was really clean.
Yes, and girls look great. I mean, you still, we always talk about the pubes in retro porn, and some porn is, quite frankly, from the era you don't know, you didn't know where the vagina ends and the dick begins, but it's not too bad here.
We'll save that for the next feature.
Absolutely. Vanessa Del Rio's in this one, who I like. She's never been my favorite, but she was definitely a unique porn star for her time, and actually did a mainstream role in Soul Men with Samuel L. Jackson and Bernie Mac. Really cool lady.
That does not surprise me. She was very big with a black man in the 90s. There's
I was
many
going to say more 80s,
feature.
70s, 80s, yeah.
I'm telling you, there is a shit ton of rap songs in the 90s that feature her name dropped randomly. And I'm going to tell you why, because most of them, they were in the 80s, stole their dad's VHS tapes.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Yeah. Too short, ice cream.
Todd, now you got to find one for next week now, Todd. But yeah, I enjoyed her sequence as well. It was kind of somebody needs to get Pee Wee Herman, Paul Rubens a copy of this, because they have the alleyway masturbation sequence that turns into a gangbang. this is like Pee Wee Herman's wet dream. I still find that interesting because obviously I wasn't old enough, even you weren't old enough for the era of like people whacking off in a fucking adult theater. I always found that would be like really fucking weird. I talked to old timers who were around during the 42nd Street era that actually lived that, but I don't know. I'm thinking like if I want to whack off, but then again, hey, they didn't have the internet then, so you had to whack off in those theaters. So all I know is nobody better be sitting directly behind me. I don't want the something about Mary hairdo going after that. But yeah, this one's a solid porno. It's more than solid, actually. I really like it. I wouldn't go as far as to call it a classic, but it's 3.5. I enjoy it. So 3.5 for Afternoon Delights. What say you, Todd?
I'm at a 3.
Okay.
Like I said, I enjoyed it. I really I like ones that are like
the wink ruined it.
Yeah, no, that had a bunch of different scenarios. I don't know. You know, it's I hold on to my 5s when it comes to this genre.
Yeah, maybe they needed one more story. The pizza man wasn't in there, but yeah, you get the construction workers. You get So you don't always get the dentist, although I recall the dentist coming up a few times in adult films.
Although,
there is an extra feature.
I feel like I should bump it up just for the Nazi dominatrix.
Yeah. Well, you do get more BDSM action in the next film. But I should point out there is a commentary track on this one with the director, which I love. This is actually a great release for the Peakorama line because there's commentary track audio, through the phone on each film. I believe this one is through the phone, if I remember right. But it's very, very in-depth. And Joe Rubin did a great job. The director has great memory recall, actually. I mean, he was one that seemed to remember a lot, considering the age of these films. Second one's almost 40 years old. And he talks a little bit about being a legitimate sex addict that was, in fact, whacking off in adult features, and that led him into the adult world. He talks a little bit about producer Ken Schwartz, who also worked on Dracula Exotica, which comes up a lot. Great film. He talks a little bit about his vignette films, this being an early Veronica Hart role. I want to say her second or third, something like that. It was one of her first ones. Talks a little bit about the scene at the time shooting near the Twin Towers. Some funny stories, too. He also talks about Sharon Mitchell giving, like, random crew dudes BJs. She's not in this movie, but which I've actually heard that somewhere else for some reason. Apparently a very generous lady. I need to work on a film with her. He has some funny stories. The one actor during the double BJ scene apparently was gay and sometimes had trouble getting a boner, except for that scene, obviously. It talks some commercial work he did with like Mr. T and Joel Grey. It's a very good commentary track on both releases. And I think one of the funnier moments in the commentary track is when he kind of not argues in a mean way, but he argues with Joe Rubin over what necrophilia is, because he kind of referred to the dentist sequence as necrophilia, and Joe's like, "No, well, but she wasn't dead," and it's like he kind of didn't want to give it up for a bit, but no, she wasn't dead. It's not necrophilia. So very, very good commentary track. So if you get this, listen to it. Great recall, funny stories, informative stories. He did a great job moderating that. So moving on to our second film on this double feature, Slave of Pleasure, which is a little bit older. It's a 1978 film from the same director. And this one follows private detective Dan McCord, played by Roger Kane, has been hired by Richard Anselm, played by the director himself, to find his beautiful wife Eileen. As McCord digs deeper into the case, he discovers that Eileen might have been kidnapped by white slavers. But as he uncovers more and more clues, suspicion starts to fall on Richard's mistress, Barbara. This is actually a part of a series of films with this Dan McCord character. And I don't remember all of them, but I remember Dirty Susan was one. I think Fire and Francesca was another one. He's kind of sort of a Johnny Wad character, kind of a smaller budget Johnny Wad character that was in a few different films, a handful of films if I recall. I like this one actually a lot. I probably enjoyed this one the most out of the two. I don't know if it's just kind of really enjoying the whole PI angle, another porn staple. And another porn staple in this one, the whole drugged sort of sex slave angle that was in a lot of 70s porn. There are a ton, actually, that have similar storylines to this. And we get the great Jamie Gillis as Henry Picard, plays sort of the villain in this one. What did you think about this one, Todd? I like this one a lot. This is one that I actually think is a pretty fantastic little porno film.
I agree. And out of the two, this was actually my favorite of the two. And it's one of those things, it's like, oh yeah, that's, how do I put this? They're porn, I'll go with porn staples at this point. I mean, there were a lot, they weren't so played out back then. And I had a laugh, and I was like, wow, look at that vintage vibrator. I feel like she's going to, like, shock herself if she uses it and shit. And the S&M scenes, I have to admit, a couple of those I was cracking up during, and his little dick holster, and it was pretty, yeah. I felt like it was a weekend for Tool or something.
There you go, old school XPW. What's Tool up to these days?
That is a good question.
He's a teacher somewhere. You children lack discipline. Just like pounds on the table. Nobody knows what we're talking about. Maybe Pugs or somebody's listening and actually gets that. But that is inside humor. But, yeah.
Speaking of something
Todd,
inside,
I miss XPW, Todd. Damn it.
I do too. When they blew up Homeless Jimmy. Yeah, if you ever see that clip, they used it a lot. You always see Tool kind of like back away real quick at the end. It's because, as I was told, it's because the explosion was way too big, and he fucking was like, "Holy shit!" Started running.
I missed.
Gotta be careful.
But anyways, you were saying.
The black chick with the little nipple circle things on, I was like, what the hell in the Sabu pants?
Sultana.
I was kind of confused. Yes. With her Sabu pants. I was like, is this an actual look?
Gloria Todd, yeah. She was short-lived, actually. She wasn't around long, but she did some kinky stuff in this. Again, more DP action.
Yes. I just couldn't get over the outfit.
Yeah, you know, another thing about these, they're very well made, but they're also very dirty. I mean, these ones are a little more, I mean, it's not unheard of by any means at the time at this point, but, you have the foot fed. I mean, you have some toe sucking in this, which I personally, I've never gotten. I'm not a foot person, but you have some DP, some rim job action. I mean, this one's very much a porno. It covers a lot. You have the S&M, which obviously is somewhat not real blood, but, it kind of covers a lot of ground. I mean, it works for the perverts. Let's just say that. Slave of pleasure works for the perverts. And
wherever they are.
I did. Absolutely. Pretty much anybody that's still listening to us has an inner perv in them. Let's be honest. If you're listening, you know, damn it. You are a fucking degenerate, and we love you. So, yeah. But you know, you do mention Gloria Todd, who plays Sultana. Good performer, but goddamn, what a horrible fucking actress. But it's a good thing. Her dialogue is hilarious. The scene where Herschel Savage, who plays Bruno, and her other henchmen have sex with her, there's some... At one point, I didn't rewind it, but I'm pretty sure it was hilarious. I think it was Savage. I don't know if it was the other guy, but at one point he just goes, Ebony! It was like, what the fuck? At least that's what it sounded like what he said. But I don't know. I love this one. It's just, again, I don't want, sort of our measuring stick for a long, no pun intended, for a long time now has been corporate assets. It's not necessarily laugh a minute, but it doesn't necessarily matter because, again, this one, it really delivers as a porno film. You know, it delivers on the erotic content for whatever your kink is. It's probably in here. Very un-PC. Definitely has that 70s vibe of a porno that you kind of feel like you might need a shower after. Kind of a sort of a downbeat open ending. Again, very 70s. And yeah, the S&M sequence is pretty epic. That was pretty funny. I thought of Tool too, Todd. So yeah. Oh, go ahead. Or shut the fuck up.
Oh, no.
I don't know. It sounded like you were about to speak.
Yeah, there you go. Shut the fuck up. Keep going.
There we go. So yeah, I like this one. I don't know if this will just be more me for some reason, but I give this one a 4. I liked it a lot. I thought this is actually a great Peakorama double feature. It's definitely one of the ones you might want to look into, but no, not total. Not total comedy by any means, but this is also something that has great extra features because this also has a full-length commentary. But Todd, before I talk about that, what do you rate this?
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. A 4 on it. I definitely think, just like I said, I liked the first one too. I just thought this was the better of the two. And even with some of these where one outweighs the other, I mean, you add them both up, and it's definitely a value.
And we should mention we will have the triple feature Peakorama from this batch on our upcoming show.
Yeah, I knew we couldn't squeeze it in 7, and then when we saw we had a lot of breaking news this week. But yeah, sometime in the next 2 shows we are going to have the other one, which has 3 films on it. So they're a little bit shorter, but I knew we couldn't do 7 on one show. We thought about it, but it was like, nah. Todd's got a family, damn it. He can't watch porno all week, but he tried.
Right. Yeah. I actually was pushing for it. Dan was the one who made the call. I was like, all right, I had time this week.
You're always overbooking.
He is. Well, I mean, you are. But I could have.
That's okay.
I could keep you in line when I need to. Keep you from talking 45 minutes on the rim job scene, and we just kind of move on. I just send you a little message. Time.
Yeah, there you go. Enough on the rim job.
I'm just gonna start sending you random pictures of Vader, so you know it's time.
I hope it's not that certain Vader pic.
We'll see. I'll have to. Well, make me a folder just with Vader pics, so I can randomly drop one in.
Absolutely, that'll be our code.
That's gonna be my new gimmick. All right. You want to talk the commentary real quick? Because we are getting...
I think we'll finish, actually, on time tonight. But
I know.
But yes. Another fantastic commentary track. Again, kudos. I love a good commentary track. I listen to both. So essentially, I watched 4 films on these because the commentaries were really good. And director, again, he's very fond of pointing out who he legitimately fucked, although he did fuck them on camera on this one. He talks a little bit again about frequenting adult theaters. He talks about Jamie Gillis. There's some hilarious Gillis stories. One of their other releases, I know Ginger Lynn Allen talks about him at one point completely seriously suggesting that she needed to fuck a dog in a porno film. Legitimately, she said he was not joking. He was totally serious. Thought it would rejuvenate her career or their career. But yeah, this one's also informative and funny. He talks about the Gloria, the actress that plays Sultana, getting coffee enemas, which is kind of a new one for me. There is a coffee enema story in this one. He talks about the New York crews being a little more professional than California. Definitely prefers New York. Tells some C.J. Lang stories, who he was friends with for a long time. Yeah, they actually the interviewer does point out the rimming action in this one as well, Todd. So it's relevant, damn it. And yeah, they also talk about the. It is there. It happened twice. It talks about the anus is the new vagina. This movie was ahead of its time. So this one also talks about the sort of the storyline and how that was kind of a trend that came out of Avon at the time. And yeah, this was another fantastic commentary track. So when you get a commentary track this good, honestly, that's all I could want. So 5 on extras for the entire. Well, that is for 2 commentary tracks, 2 movies. Fantastic. So 5 on extras. This is definitely one of the better Peakorama titles.
Very, very cool.
On to our main event, Todd.
There we go. I don't have a ring bell. I need one of those now. What do I got?
Yeah, you do.
Wait.
We need to get Michael Buffer on there.
We need it's main event time. All right, hold on.
For those of you who didn't listen last week, that is audio of a little person taking a not so little dick up the pooper. So you got to put some, you might have first time listeners. There you go. Absolutely. That is Bridget the Midget taking it up the butt. So there you go. Now you know what that is.
There you go. Oh, whoa, that was an extra one.
I thought you were going to play Lollipop Guild again. Actually, that's what you need to do. You need to splice that into Lollipop Guild.
We still got the line. I already forgot the line. What was it?
I'm going to let you take your thing and put it up that thing.
That's what Dan tells every first date.
Hey, shouldn't it be the other way around, Todd? Exit only,
nope.
Todd.
Hey, you do what you got to do. Come on.
Exit only, unless it's Brink Stevens. If it's Brink Stevens, okay, I'm cool with it.
Don't be so suburban. Come on.
Maybe I need a coffee enema.
I hear kids are doing it on movie sets nowadays.
There you go. Exit only unless Brink Stevens. There's probably a few others, but I'm not ashamed to admit it. Absolutely, I would take one up the tailpipe for Brink Stevens. Absolutely. So, anyways, moving on. On that note,
I have no sound clip for that.
There's
there.
What?
I'll censor you.
There you go. If I run for president or something, that's going to come back and haunt me. But whatever. Fuck
but
you
does
guys.
It
you
matter?
would too.
Wait, really?
Nothing
How
matters.
could you would say that?
Grab him by the pussy.
Come on.
I was going to say, nothing matters anymore. Who gives a fuck? Kid Rock's probably going to be fucking president in 3.5 years, so who the fuck cares?
Hey, it's going to be Rock and Rock. Come on.
Hey, it's fucking possible. It's fucking possible. Who the fuck knows anymore?
I just want
Todd,
to see
you and I should run.
I just want to
you
see
and
the
I
Rock
should
come
run.
to the possibly. I don't think we have any sound bites that can be used against us. But I just want to see the Rock come to the podium and do the Rock pose before they grab the mic and stand on top of the podium. Do it.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Oh yes, we'll just modify it to it doesn't matter what your question is.
Oh God!
They can bring up.
At this point, we're fucked anyways. Like, why not?
And but I already know the scandal's going to be. He was overselling stunners for cases of beer. It's going to be the big
one. He could sell the fuck out of a stunner. That's for sure. He would sell like HBK sold Hogan on those stunners. We do need to run, Todd. I'm going to say right now we have like Bridget the Midget as like Secretary of Defense. You know, she's taken some missiles as you heard from that audio clip. Bridget the Midget. I don't know. Maybe we get like Robert Black as like the press secretary. We're always referencing Robert Black. He can be press secretary. Either that or Ice-T. Actually, I like Ice-T as press secretary. Just, you know, go fuck yourself, motherfucker. Just yeah. But anyways, we can dream. Anyways, on to our main event. Todd distracted me. I'm sorry. Matinee Idol.
Yes, that one.
From director Henry Picard and writer-producer, the late, great, legendary David F. Friedman, one of his 4 adult roles, and not roles, films. But Matinee Idol. He has a role too. Yeah, not non-sex. We'll get into that. I was just saying, David Friedman doesn't get his dick wet in this one. I was actually. He's a nice dude. He should have, he should have pulled a Sean Costello and done the Russo and booked himself to, get the beach.
And because some people have had some confusion, this has nothing to do with John Goodman. So.
No, there is no. Sadly, no King Ralph in this one. So, anyways. This film stars erotic doesn't star, these are characters. Erotic film stars Lance Hardy and Linda Hand, played by John Leslie and Jesse St. James, have hit the breaking point in their careers and their off-screen relationship. Neither can accept the success of the other as their egos continuously clash on set of their latest production. So unable to resolve their differences, they go their separate ways, each hoping to outdo the other with their sexual conquests. What will it take to rekindle their love and reunite them as the screen's favorite erotic couple? Or can only one of them become a matinee idol? Directed by Henry Picard, Matinee Idol is a glamorously mounted hardcore romantic comedy which co-stars Colleen Brennan, Kay Parker, Tiger, Angel, and many more of the 80s biggest sex stars. Produced and written by and also featuring the legendary David Friedman, Matinee Idol is a funny, touching, and unbelievably sensual story making it in Hollywood. Okay, so Todd, what did you think of this one? This is, as I pointed out, one of only, I believe it was 4 XXX films that Friedman had produced and worked on.
Always sending the porn to me first. I like this one. I like the con. I know. It was another one that had a good setup, good cast, very 80s. I like the whole. I'm going to be, going to try to outdo each other, and
outfuck each other.
Yeah, and I have to say the pool scene with oh my God,
Herschel Savage.
Yes, I was just like, wow, this is like porn 101. I'm like, it's actually one of the first times that some pool guy. I was just
this wasn't the first time. This is 84. Yeah,
I know,
you had plenty of pool boy scenarios.
I know we did, but I'm just saying it wasn't like, now it's done as the cliche. Then it was still like we can still get away with it. Now it's like done tongue in cheek almost. So at this point, but it's just, it was our first pool guy of this run of films, and yeah, my only complaint is, it's gonna be a weird one. It almost at the end, I mean, in the scenes, it gets a little too coupley for me. I mean, a little, I guess, light, a little too. Yeah, especially I want to say the last 2 scenes.
Too couple friendly.
Yeah. Especially after watching our other stuff, I probably should have watched this one first. You go from BDSM to oh yeah, that's nice. Yeah, no. But yeah, overall, I really dug it. I just the last couple scenes, I think there was a little more heat in the first few.
I can see what you're saying. I will say this probably maybe had the funniest scene in all of it, which is the dick cast scene, which is funny because I know you watched it as well, Family Business, the Seymour Butts reality show. There was an entire episode on him getting a dick cast, which has got to be incredibly difficult to actually maintain a boner that long to get a fucking cast made of your cock. And that not only does Herschel Savage Hulk out and break the dick cast, but one of the funniest, most random and kind of, funny, a little bit gross because I'm not into the foot stuff, but he actually fucks 2 girls with his toes. He literally, penetrates them both with his fucking toes. I love that scene. Yes. Todd, we need to make flesh wound dildo casts. It could be like a buy one get one half off type deal. You can get it done in California. I can go into Atlanta and get it done. If you buy a flesh wound dick cast, you have to respond on Facebook, and maybe we'll do it. It could happen.
Yeah, but see, I know
have blood on it with bonus roofies, and I don't know what mine would have. Maybe like a lesbo porn disc on there. I don't know.
All I know is since we both watched that show, I know they can add some inches too. We're gonna both come out with like 18-foot dogs.
hey, how do you know?
Do you not remember?
I'll admit. 14 inches. There's a few we had on there.
I was gonna say, yeah. All right. Well, since we got the
actually, I'll be honest. It's 3 inches from the floor, motherfuckers. But anyways, that was a terrible joke. That's an old joke, but you made it a little obvious. I had to tell it. So
you kind of had to end it Hank Moody style though.
I did. Yes, I did.
That's what saved it.
Show.
I know, that's what saved it.
What saved it?
the
and that was exactly what was in my head too. So you know me. But anyways, oh God, I missed that show. But anyways, yeah. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one as well. It's one I have seen. I've watched, I believe, all of the Friedman. Actually, all of Friedman's stuff. Period. I don't think there's anything that he was attached to that I haven't seen. I could be wrong, but I don't believe so. And yeah, this one balanced, I think, a lot of stuff. It was funny. Maybe doesn't, quite have the same erotic content that the other ones did. But, again, it's always a different kind of porn. I like retro porn in general, and this one I thought was pretty funny. And
yeah.
I always enjoy Herschel Savage. Good God, is that guy? I mean, he should almost be just as famous as Ron Jeremy at this point. I mean, good God, has he been in a lot of movies?
And he was also on Family Business.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, no, he was. I remember trying to do stand-up at one point. Another guy, really cool dude. Mm-hmm.
I wish you would have told Seymour the Dick Cass story. Told him like it was a shoot. Yeah, this one time.
Yeah.
When I was getting mine. That would have been funny.
Yeah. They should have had a spin-off show with him. We need another Family Business or something, even a limited thing like a pornocopia on HBO. Yeah. They haven't done that in a while, man. Do I miss like fucking Real Sex and like the old school HBO softcore stuff? I mean, we still get the softcore films on Cinemax and whatnot, but we don't get the old Shock Video. God, I want that.
They don't even do Tax Cab Confessions anymore.
No. Well, and that one's not even full on softcore, but it could be. But yeah, we need that grimy. I mean, they do replay certain things once in a while, but I'm like, come on, we need another season of Real Sex. They need to revamp that. I don't know why they haven't, quite frankly. I mean, I know it wouldn't be exactly the same, but I want Real Sex to come back. I have such fond memories. The intro, I still remember.
Oh, yeah.
I would be like sneaking up at night to turn on the TV and watch Real Sex. That show was, I miss that. But anyways, back to this movie.
I remember watching that from the very beginning when it was like actually first airing.
Oh, really? Yeah, you would have. You would have been of age when that's. Well, no, actually, would you have been?
I probably would have been like.
You would have been like close.
14. 14, come on.
Okay.
We're gonna find whatever. I have to tell you this. Okay, do not let me tell when we're done. Remind me to tell my.
Sure, because we're wrapping up, so
just my
we'll
story
be done in a few minutes, probably.
It's funny to say.
So it was great seeing David Friedman again in acting role. He doesn't get his pee-pee wet in this film, but I enjoyed the cunts and cocks stuff. I loved the retro posters, space thing, and the Archie blows in the background. I thought that was hilarious. I mean, David Friedman is a fucking legend, and it is cool seeing, even though he wasn't as fond of the hardcore stuff. In general, watch the That's Sexploitation documentary. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one, I'm not going to go as far to call it a classic porn film. It's not, but I did enjoy it quite a bit. I thought it was funny. I liked the actors. John Leslie, of course, another legend. Very diverse. Again, I've always said. You always hear about the classic female stars, but some of these dudes were diverse. I mean, most of the top ones, they could do comedy, they could play a great asshole. I mean, Herschel Savage, I mean, my God. And really, honestly, most of them would have been perfect. They could have had legit careers if people would have hired. I hate to say legit careers, but they could have had mainstream careers. no problem. They were great actors. So this one gets a 3.5 for me, the movie. I enjoyed it a lot. I always like the whole behind the scenes of the porn industry storyline, and the cunts and cocks stuff I thought was pretty amusing. It was cool seeing Friedman do his thing in this.
Yeah, I'm with you on it. I'm a little bit higher, even though I didn't like the last. I don't know. They were just a little too coupley, like I said. But some people like that. I'm 4 on this one. I get why this is the one they picked to be on Blu-ray. It was definitely felt like the bigger one. I don't know if it's just Friedman's presence too, but I'm definitely very happy with. Yeah, I'm definitely very happy with the film, the presentation. Overall, it was a great disc. And
I'm also, because surprisingly, because he died in, I think it was 2011. I don't remember the exact date. But we do get an audio interview with David Friedman, moderated by Casey Scott. Fantastic. I'm not even going to go through the whole thing. He kind of covers some similar ground to that sexploitation documentary on kind of the white coders, and going into his last softcore film, The Erotic Adventures of Zorro, 1972, I believe. He talks a little bit about the end of softcore, the rise of hardcore, not being as big of a fan of hardcore, not thinking it was as fun to make. He talks a little bit about video coming in 1976, some of the camaraderie in softcore that he didn't feel was in XXX films, and a very good interview. Actually, a very good companion piece to that sexploitation documentary, which is amazing.
I agree.
And he talks about some of the 4 XXX films he did, and I really want to see 7 into Snowy, the Snow White porn film with Kay Parker. I hope to God they put that one out. With this one, 4.5 on extras. I thought they did a fantastic job.
I'm with you on that for sure.
There we go. So, Todd, we actually finished a little bit early tonight. What did you want to tell me?
Okay. Oh, yes. No, it's a funny story, not related. It is probably, I can't say my only wrestling porn story. All right. WWE SummerSlam 91. Match made in heaven, match made in hell. You should be very familiar with this event.
Absolutely.
Okay, funny story. I 91 had I had 3 or 4 friends over, and we all watched the pay-per-view. Probably were up all night, played video games, passed out. It was one of those nights. See, this is way back in the day, where sometimes if you got lucky and didn't change the channel, your signal wouldn't go out, so you'd get free pay-per-view for the rest of the night until it reset the system. So it was one of those nights, and we were probably playing Nintendo. It was 91, and all fell asleep. But I think we were watching whatever movie was on pay-per-view. But all I know is this is the story I've been told numerous times. I wasn't awake for part of it. But my mother came in like, what the hell? Because there was just porn sounds blazing on the TV. Me and all my friends were passed the fuck out. And my mom just turned off the TV and went to bed. I heard the story the next day. I was so pissed off. This was the
pissed off that your mom busted you, or you didn't get to watch the porno?
That I didn't get to watch the porno.
Oh, okay.
See, and
I assume she figured you were.
No, she actually asked, and I was like, huh? And we were like, oh, fuck. Because we're like, what the fuck? Because she knew I knew that trick, that if you just left it on the channel, because I think she came out when we were watching one of the other movies that was on after. so and I told her pay-per-view hasn't shut off yet. So I'm assuming she just figured it because it was like 3 a.m. We were just all passed the fuck out. To quote the Mountie of that show, you want the finger, here's the finger. Or you get the finger, whatever. So
I love that match.
Yeah.
I still love that match.
Like, it could have been an even better night. We could have got the jailhouse match, you know, the match made in heaven, and the porn of the night.
The Mountie got more than the finger after that. Yes. Only it was Pat Patterson, actually.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
No.
Rick Martel.
There was a reason.
Well, but anyway.
There was a reason Piper and Pat didn't share a bunk in Legend's house.
There was. He did make reference. Allegedly. That was a weird interview too. I remember that. Yeah, I remember he just got like really quiet, and I don't know what supposedly might have happened, but yeah, I do. They need to do a Legends house too. Actually, I mean, I know they're canceling all this shit, but who would you put on your Legends house?
Shit, I'm trying to think people who are in the first.
They need to bunk AJ Styles and Pat Patterson. Although AJ, I guess, AJ's a legend, but wrestling references. It's the end of the show.
I probably
that's
go with
bullshit. I should apologize.
Yeah, I'd probably go with more '90s, you know, guys. Get X-Pac in there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We should do ECW Legends house. Sandman.
We'll throw them all in there. We'll get Virgil in there. Sandman doesn't drink anymore, so that's no fun. Who's a trick? Get New Jack in there.
It would never happen in WWE, but good God. This is totally... Did you ever hear the slip and slide story?
Ooh, I don't... No, I don't think so.
It involved... I mean, I think it involved multiple people. I think there were several people there. I think Tommy Dreamer was there. But basically, Raven and Perry Saturn were the two big ones. And some of the... shitty hotels that they stayed in back in the day, Paulie budget and all. They had set up a slip and slide in a hotel lobby. Of course, they had Coke, they had some hookers, and they had apparently, I don't know who was holding who, but they were holding hookers. They were holding them up, spread eagle at the end of the slip and slide, and they were attaching like dildos to different people's heads, and they'd literally they'd pick them up and throw them down the slip and slide and see if they could get the dildo into the hookers.
I have that. Yes, it was like their version of bowling.
Yeah, yes. Oh, I wish they were in the locker room back then. God, I even my out of shape ass now. If XPW came back, I would fucking start training just to do something, with them. But it'd have to be old school, because I've got to think, as wild as ECW was, the backstage in XPW had to be insane.
Yeah. Well, shit.
I was never backstage.
I still remember when the backstage came outstage when Chaos came out with a full-on bloody nose for his interview. I was like, what was he doing? I probably should say allegedly, so allegedly. There we go.
Allegedly. Always allegedly. Except for Victor Salva. That is not allegedly. He was convicted, so.
Right.
No. So, we're a few more minutes before we're out of time. I got to ask, what do you think of the SummerSlam card so far? Kind of considering the rumored versus announced, it looks like you're going to have a pretty big card.
I
I haven't even seen it all laid out. I've seen the booking up till now, but I'm not
think
particularly...
Shinsuke's doing the job now that he dumped Cena on the back of his head.
I don't know. Shit happens. I mean, I don't think he'll Alex Riley him.
No. Well, Vince had to be, like, busting a fucking vein when he saw that.
Yeah. That is true, but hopefully it's all... Yeah, I hope not. They need to, build guys, not tear them down at this point, especially with Cena feeling like he's winding down.
Yeah, I mean, if he's signing on to a Transformers movie, that's kind of like, that's bigger than what he's done so far.
I
don't think he's going to ever be The Rock.
Wait. Is he going to be Marky Mark's brother? Is it like full circle?
No, it's a spinoff with, what the fuck was it called? Bumblebee, I think was the name of the character. It's a spinoff movie, and apparently he's one of the top leads in it, if not the top lead. I mean, they said he's basically...
But can he still... Can he still be Marky Mark's brother, though?
That would be fucking cool, Todd. That would be pretty fucking cool. I would... Maybe we'll get Cena and Daddy's Home 3.
And then I don't care how they work it out. I just want a Vanilla Ice run-in too.
Huh? Oh, Vanilla Ice, yes.
Hell, he can voice one of the
Maybe
goddamn Transformers all like hell. Goddamn, I just said that. See?
There you go. We had the same thought. Yeah, if he's signing, I wasn't too sure. I was like, well, I mean, he's doing smaller guest, co-starring stuff in, what's her name? Dolph's girlfriend, Amy Schumer comedies. I'm like, if he's just doing that, he'll probably still do the Jericho thing for a while. But if he's doing stuff like a Transformers movie, yeah, I definitely think he'll be passing the torch to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, because I think I don't know what his contract is right now with WWE. That'd actually be interesting to know exactly where he is contract-wise.
Yeah. I have no clue.
I don't think he's going to be The Rock, though. Everybody keeps saying it's like he's going to be a huge star, and I'm like, this is technically his second shot at Hollywood, too. People forget Marine and 12 Rounds. I mean, he did make a run at Hollywood before, so I don't know. We'll see. But But yes, so I guess we can actually end on time this week. But again, we will be back next Thursday. Our show is actually all booked. We are going to be doing Friend Request, the theatrically released horror film that will be out next month. We'll have an early review for that. We will also be doing Killing Grounds, another early review. It'll be coming out from IFC Scream Factory. We're, of course, doing Sharknado 5. We'll also be covering part of Shark Week with Five-Headed Shark Attack and Trailer Park Sharks, which stars Tara Reid. Very curious to see Trailer Park Sharks. I'm actually kind of curious who the cast is on that other than her. But, yeah. So, Todd, that's all I've got. I don't know. Why don't you send us home with some Bridget the Midget stuff? Why not?
All right. Why not? Well, where's our longer one? Okay. We'll be back next week, guys. We're getting out here on time. Holy shit. All right. Good night.
We are. Night, guys.